Hi everyone, this is I Am Spoon with a new game of brass. Today I wanted to bring you something special on how to play standard brick, so with beer, iron, rails, and also low-level crates. This is a very standard strategy that many people play. It's very card lenient, I would say, and also money-wise fairly easy. And I think this is a beautiful illustration in this game of how to well execute this in canal. I'm not in this game going to show the whole rail because it's a bit long, and I think yeah, the canal is the most interesting part in this game in particular. So we start, we see, we look at the beer, how it's distributed, we look at our own cards. Immediately I see, okay, I have a Utoxedo card, I have a stone card, so these are good beer locations. Not all my cards are good, but I also have an industry, like an iron industry, so that's fine. And yeah, we start with a loan from red, from teal, develop. He's going immediately for cotton, making this very clear. I think very standard. You develop away the level 1 and the level 2s, and then the level 1 coal is I'd say the most standard develop, but it's not the only way to play it. And from my side, I am developing as well. You can develop for 4, you can develop for 6, and on the first turn, I think it's totally acceptable. So many people also loan. I still think develop is maybe slightly better, but loan is also very good. Now, if you play this strategy, you will need to develop 4 things away. You will develop away your 2 level 1 beers, and then you can develop away the level 1 coal, or the level 1 iron, or the level 1 crate. You can do it in any combination, really. I think one of my previous games where I was developing these 2 away. This time I'm developing away the level 1 iron and the level 1 crate. Most players I see do it with a level 1 crate and the level 1 coal, but really any of these 3 combinations is playable. It depends a bit on the circumstances, the cards you have, and kind of how the game is flowing. Here today I'm showing it with developing away the level 1 crate and the level 1 iron. Yeah, so 2 loans and 2 develops in the first turn, I'd say very standard. And there it starts. Red is a bit of a newer player, and it shows, but yeah, maybe also good to learn a bit for some of their mistakes. I personally don't like connecting Shrewsbury to Coalbrookdale. Of course, you get to build your iron here, but you will allow someone else to build an iron here. So you're basically helping out other players quite a bit. There's 3 Coalbrookdale cards, so yeah, it's very likely that someone else will be able to profit here. Maybe he didn't have any other iron cards, maybe, I'm not entirely sure. There are some rare circumstances where it makes sense to play this, to kind of get access to this 4 victory point bonus. But say 95% of the time you don't really want to connect Coalbrookdale because you're helping others, not only yourself. So we proceed here, and purple will develop away. He's doing, I think, a very similar build as mine, so developing away the yeah, it's actually going to be exactly the same, developing away the level 1 crate, the level 1 iron, and the 2 level 1 beers. As I said, you can also develop away the level 1 coal instead of the level 1 iron, or develop away these 2 and don't develop away the level 1 crate. They're all 3 playable, depends a bit on the circumstances. Teal here ends up developing at a fairly high price, 8. I mean, it happens. Sometimes you just kind of have to do it. He could also have maybe loaned or scouted. Yeah, I'd say most builds you can incorporate the scout into it. I don't know exactly, maybe he had very good cards and didn't feel like doing it. But yeah, so he loaned and developed at 4. Yeah, going for the cotton. From my side, I'm taking a loan and building immediately my level 2 iron in Coalbrookdale. And that's what I said, right? Basically, I'm getting helped here by red. Doesn't happen normally with good players. Oh yeah, I do it slightly differently here, maybe an important point. If I build here, then I'm kind of locked. This is just my network, and I don't have excellent cards. So I first play a canal here between Derby and Burton-on-Trent, and then I'm first player in the next turn, and then only I build my iron. So I lose 3 in income by doing this, but I avoid getting locked. I think it's quite quite a good move. And yeah, ideally you avoid building canals, but you also don't want to get locked. And often, it's not always true, but often in canal, the valuable links tend to be from Derby to Burton-on-Trent to Walsall to Birmingham, like these three, sorry. It's not always true, it depends a bit on the merchant setup and how it plays out, but this will probably end up being a valuable link, and it gives me good access to Burton-on-Trent and Derby and maybe other locations like Walsall later on. Yeah, so I built my iron mine and develop away my 2 level 1 beers. If you're not sure what to develop away, always develop away your level 1 beers. I say 99% of all builds, you would develop away your level 1 beer. Maybe some high level cotton, but even then, even with some high level cotton play, this is not a bad move to develop away your level 1 beers. But pretty much all other builds would develop away your level 1 beers. And then it's the others playing here, and I accelerate a bit. It was myself actually not in game at this point. Seems it took them a while to play. Yeah, and I think the issue here is with this cotton player, with teal, you don't want to build iron. Really, this is I'm just gonna pause here. This is just a mistake. You want someone else to connect Birmingham for you, and then you can build your cotton here. So basically they do the hard work, building the canals, etc., and you just get the profit from it. Especially now you already developed away your level 1 coal, what you want to do is take 2 loans and then build a coal to offset your 2 loans. So I'm not sure. In my view, he should have loaned and then build a coal mine maybe in Coalbrookdale. I guess he had a coal card or maybe a Coalbrookdale card, I'm not 100% sure. But here building an iron I find a bit weak. Yeah, basically he cannot build his cotton here, so he needs to build cotton in Thamesford, Worcester, which means another 2 links he needs to build, and it seems very unlikely someone will build here in the north, so he won't be able to connect to this merchant beer. So it's kind of a rough start for the cotton player. I also think the merchant layout is not really that favorable for cotton in this game. Would have been better if this was in Nottingham. That would be quite okay, or this one also in Nottingham or up north. Yeah, good. Then it is Orange's turn, and let me speed a bit through. Orange is developing away, and yeah, pretty standard here. So he's going to version where you develop away the level 1 coal. Teal is then building an iron mine, I guess, in Coventry to offset this loan, and he's immediately building a level 2. Yeah. So I think it's a bit unfortunate for the cotton player. Maybe he kind of mistimed it a bit, but yeah, his idea really was, or should be, to take 2 loans and then offset it with the coal, profiting from the links that the others have built to build their iron, and not have to build iron yourself. You see, he had a coal card. He could totally have loaned and then built in Coalbrookdale. I mean, maybe he didn't have it previous turn, I don't know, but that's how I would have played it. And yeah, now he's building out iron, leaving free iron on the board for others. I don't really like doing that. Plus, it's not guaranteed your iron will flip, which means you lose out on another 3 coins. So I don't really like this too much. And similar, Orange is overbuilding his level 1 iron and just leaving lots of free iron for the next player. I don't think this is optimal. You could say in some circumstances where this will eventually translate into lower iron prices for yourself, it kind of is okayish, but in this scenario it's basically lower iron prices for yellow and purple, and for teal and red it's less money because they're not selling the iron, plus if it doesn't flip it's also less income, so it's not so strong. Let's move on a bit here. And 2 beers are built immediately by this player, and that's what I said. Often this link ends up being valuable. My idea is to build here a level 2 crate, here as well a level 2 crate, get beer out in Utoxeter and stone, and then I can connect here and sell. That's quite good. I'm also profiting from the cheap iron here to build. I mean, ideal would have been to develop, but yeah, kind of 2 develops is all you need really in this build. Most builds require 2 to 3, sometimes 4, and most builds also require 3 loans, but this build only requires 2. It does benefit from a 3rd loan though, but it's not necessary. You have enough money to do all you need. So now it's the end of the turn. These 2 do not get flipped, so they miss out on the income. And yeah, so I think these 2 players are kind of falling behind now, making some small mistakes here and there. And yeah, I'm now lost, so I'll accelerate a bit through it. Teal is developing away, and yeah, makes another mistake here. Develops a way to access the level 3 cotton, that's fine, but then builds a canal here. And basically it's a canal that other players could use. In fact, I have the Tamsworth card myself, so I'm quite happy that he's building a canal. Of course, he needs it to build his level 3, but he could have waited 1 turn. He could have, I don't know, taken a loan instead and only built a canal afterwards. But it all comes back to the fact that, you know, he built an iron here in Birmingham. Basically, he was forced to build a lot of canals that normally shouldn't have been necessary. If you play cotton the right way, you would have just, like, he had a coal card, I'm pretty sure. So loan, built in Coalbrookdale your level 2 coal, and just wait it out for others to build links for you, and then only start building your level 3 cotton. That's the way to play it in my view. So red is yeah, I think it's going a bit back and forth here. I'll accelerate a bit through it. Yeah. So red builds a level 2 crate here. Unfortunately, it looks like this link that maybe I'm not even building anything in Derby. Of course, ideally, I would build something in Derby. That was my original idea, to build here a crate, or maybe now I have the option to build iron. So especially now that this is connected to the market, yeah, I can build iron here. But the iron price is kind of low. I'd rather wait. And in this situation here, purple builds level 1 coal with this. I actually kind of like it. I think that's a good way to get your level 1 coal out. It offsets a loan, and although I don't think here he really took a loan, I should have probably taken the loan and then offset it with the coal. And it's also, point-wise, it's not a bad link. From my side, I take my 2nd loan in this game, and I build in Tamsworth, immediately offsetting the loan. And that's immediately where you see this link here is a mistake. It's I mean, you might say it's 5 points, maybe more, but you kind of end up, yeah. He wanted this link to build cotton, and in the end, you can't build cotton there anymore. Okay, but he ends up building the level 3 iron, so maybe a small consolation price, but still, again, not at such good prices, and he still hasn't built any level 3 cottons yet, so basically all his develops are for nothing at the moment, so kind of not so good. From my side, I still need to build 2 level 2 crates in this build. I can do so in, I think, in Belper and in Burton-on-Trent. That's probably the idea. I would have preferred doing it in Derby than in Belper, because in Belper I will need to build an extra link. But yeah, that's how it is. And I was able to use a lot of cheap iron in this game. I was able to sell my level 2 at a decent price, and then use a lot of cheap iron from others. Okay, so instead of, if the iron had been a bit higher, instead of 3, it had have been, let's say, 2 coins, I might be down something like 8-10 coins or so. I'd say 8 coins for 4 iron that I consumed for my building. So yeah, I would be at 20 coins instead of 30. So it would still work just fine. So purple is doing a similar strategy to mine, getting out the level 1 coal, some iron, building some. Yeah, let's see. I think in his action order he was a bit less efficient. He's already at 2 income, but he should have ideally loaned first and then gained the income, because this is more efficient than getting the income and then having to loan, which he will have to do very soon. So and he's playing, takes a while. Let me accelerate a bit through it. And yeah, builds in Birmingham, and will probably build somewhere else also on takes a loan. Yeah, as I said, and now his income is -1. If he had done it a bit differently in the order, then he could have been at 1 income instead of -1 income. It's just always more efficient to loan and then gain income than to gain income and then have to loan. And Orange here is building, yeah, Orange is doing slightly strange build where he gets out a level 2 and a level 4 crate. This is unusual. Yeah, not much else to say. I don't think it's that good. So let me accelerate a bit through it and then build a beer in Valsal. So the weakness for Orange is that he only has 1 beer out, and ideally you want to have 2 beer out, and sometimes you can even get 3 beer out. So especially if you sacrifice a bit on other things. But with only 1 beer, it's a bit weak. Beer is kind of the strong part of this build, of the BRIC build. It's the beer. It's cheap, gives lots of points and lots of income. And that's kind of the strong part of this build. The crates, they're just there to flip the beer. They're convenient, but not really strong. They just like synergize well with the beer, but yeah, they're not really essential to the strategy. So here he's building set high level crates and less beer. This is not working. Yeah, and once more, I said this before already, but typically the links Birmingham to Walsall, Walsall to Burton-on-Trent, Burton-on-Trent to Derby, these tend to be the most valuable in Canal. Of course, in this game, you played a bit differently with Tamsworth being connected and then being worth lots of points. But yeah, that's how it typically goes. And yeah, and Purple builds in Wolverhampton and then connects with a link. So not such a good link. You're not very happy. 3 points only. Links ideally are worth 6 points or more, so 3 points is a bit weak, but yeah, he felt it was necessary. So in total, he brought out 3 links. Teal has built 3 links. Red has built only 1 link for now, which is good actually. From my side, I've built 1 link, but I will for sure need at least 1 more link here, potentially even a 3rd link to connect to the market. It depends a bit who plays in what order, and I'm thinking of this. I really want someone else to connect to the market. I mean, it's a 6-point link, which is not too bad, but I'm thinking of maybe getting some extra iron out. I have an iron card, so I could connect from Burton-on-Trent to Walsall and build my level 3 iron, which would be quite nice. I was also thinking of maybe building from Tamsworth to Nuneaton and then building a beer there. It would be a 6-point connection and would have been quite strong as well. I would then have flipped 2 of my own beers and kept another beer for myself for the next age to double rail of it. Would have been quite strong, but the weakness is I don't have access in Derby in the start of rail because I haven't built there, and as a consequence I cannot like double rail from Nottingham to Derby and then Derby to Tuxedo how you would typically do it. I wouldn't be able to do that because I don't have access there. So I think in this game having a 3rd beer would not have been interesting. Yeah. And here Red is thinking, let me accelerate a bit through it. And Red ends up connecting and selling. And I've said this always before, you want to sell on the last turn of rail. This is the 2nd last turn of rail. This is probably a mistake. Because in the next turn you don't really have many good moves left to do as Red. And I'm not sure what cards he had. I mean, double beer. No, these are not so interesting, but he could have maybe... yeah, still build another beer somewhere. Yeah. So from my side here, I see an opportunity to flip my level 3 iron, which I do. And please note that all my links are actually really valuable. So this one is worth 6 points. This one is worth 7 points. So that's quite good. I will have to build this one, which will be worth 5 points, so still acceptable. So these are all very good links. In contrast, some of the links here, this one is worth, with purple is only worth 4 points, this will be worth 3 points. This one is good at 7 points though, but some of the links from purple are weaker. And same with teal, I think this one is worth 5 points. Oh, this one is worth 7 points, and this one 4. But I think in the links I had the most efficient links. from everyone. Although red only built 2 links. Yeah. So it's again red's turn, and now red has nothing really to do. So he can loan, I guess, but it's a bit weird to loan just after you've sold. It's not very efficient. You want to always first loan and then sell. He could develop some stuff away, maybe, or he could build a link. I guess this link is still okay, 6 points. Why not? Yeah, you take it. So loan and link, it's maybe not the worst, but it still feels kind of awkward, and I feel he should have gotten out another beer or something else. Maybe he just didn't play his hand very well. He didn't have the cards for it. So here, very standard from purple, basically doing a very similar build to mine, but I think he didn't get the level 3 iron out, but he got an extra loan, if I'm not mistaken, so he has a bit more cash. And it was, yeah, I think just if he had reversed slightly the order of certain moves, he would now have a bit more income and would have been maybe a bit better. Yeah, so from my side, I connect and then sell with everything. So that's what you typically want. You want 2 crates, 2 beer, a level 2 iron, ideally also level 3 iron, and then maybe coal. So kind of here in this game I was able to get it all. I managed to do with only 2 loans. Ideally you would have also gotten in maybe a 3rd loan. Typically in the last turn you would have done loan and sell. For me it was just, yeah, I wasn't able to do that, so I had to. Oh, and I forgot to pay 3 coins. Oh shit. Oh yeah, it happens to the best, sorry. So now it's the scoring of Canal, and it's an interesting moment to pause, because basically the game is over. I've won the game. It's kind of a bit brutal to say it that way, but I have 33 Canal industries. Now all of these will score again in rail, except one of my coal. I have a level 1 coal, so this is, I basically have 84 points. Now 84 points is really good. Ideally, I mean typically you would have, let's say 50 points and lots of cash, let's say 100 cash, or you have 70 points and a bit of cash, or you have 80 points and not too much money. Yeah. In my case I still have 28, which is decent. I still have 8 income, which is quite decent, so 84 points is exceptionally good, and I'm kind of far ahead of the others. Yeah, so I'm not going to show the whole rail of this game. I pretty much I'm able to maintain my lead and win the game in the end with a 20-point margin. But it shows here how to play Canal, how to play BRIC. Be very careful where you put your links. Don't go too early on the board, just wait for others to build links and kind of profit from it. Yeah, keep a good eye on your cards and where you are in the turn order, how the turn order will evolve, and so forth. And then I'm just at the end. I might also show here the result of rail. So this is the same game. I'm not showing the whole rail area, but in the end I managed with 20-point margin. Fairly simple. Just build 2 or 3 coals to get your economy a bit going. Finish building your iron. Build links, but mostly build links, and build beer whenever you can. You can also, this is more optional, depends a bit on how the game is going, you can also develop away your level 3 crate and your level 4 crate and then build 1 or 2 level 5 crates and then sell. Level 5 crates are not terribly strong, but they give good link value, so if you're able to surround the location it can be decent. Yeah, I'd say that's kind of it. That's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you're interested in next, and see you guys on Tabletop Simulator or on the Parlor. Ciao, Spoon out.